Okay, so this is really just an unveiling because it's only 3 things and it's not an unboxing because I just bought them today. But I'm really excited about these. So I'm going to show you. The one piece I'm like way more excited about than the rest of them, and Chloe would be so proud of me. You have no idea. So, but we'll start. So I'm going to save the best piece for last because that's the one that I think Chloe would like. I hope she would be proud of me. So I went to Vintage Flamingo on my way home today because it's the first day and I always like to go, but I kind of like to go the first day, get it out of the way. Plus I'm dog sitting. I have like 4,000 other things going on. So I figured I would just swing by. Plus I have to pick up stuff tomorrow from the auction from last night. So that will actually be an unboxing. However, so went to Vintage Flamingo just to see what they had. The only piece of these 3 things, I only bought one thing for myself, and it was a splurge buy, and that's the piece that I think Chloe's gonna be really excited about. So this, actually, I'm pretty pumped about. So this is something I bought actually for Brittany. And she knows I bought it for her because I sent her a picture of it to make sure that like it was what she wanted. But this is really cool. So this is what is called a federal mirror, okay? So Brittany actually has one. It's bigger, like a lot bigger, and also gold colored. But she has been looking for another one. The dogs are chewing on the paper. Just ignore them. She's been looking for like another federal mirror, either same style, smaller, whatever, for a friend of hers. So I kind of been looking, but they're really expensive. And part of the reason that they're really expensive is that you can see in the picture, you see how in the reflection it's kind of warped? That's because the original glass in a federal mirror is convex. So you can't tell like from that angle, but it's not flat, it's actually rounded. So you can find some of these online, like bigger sizes or whatever, but it's really hard to find them with the convex glass in them. So I had found some online, but they're also really expensive. So like you're talking like $450, $600, $700, like thousands of dollars, depending on kind of the size and the coloring and all of that. So when I went to the market last month, there was one there, and it was big like Brittany's, but it's not for sale because the woman who owns the booth there, her father actually is a veteran, and so it's just something she uses as like a display piece, but I'd asked about it just to see if it was for sale, and it wasn't. I went today just to kind of check it out, and the big one was still there, but this one was next to it. Probably the big one's probably about twice the size, maybe like 1.5 times the size. But so I looked, and this one had a price on it. So I sent Brittany a picture and was like, hey, they have this. So I picked this up for her. She's super stoked. And I'm not sure if it's like an original or not, but the sticker on the back actually, because they did do Made in USA. Yeah, so they did do like molds and like replicas of these, but the sticker on the back of this one does say 1959 bronze color eagle mirror. So she would have to do some research on it. It's got a copyright on it. It says Dart IND Industries, maybe Dart Industries, because it says 1959 Dart bronze color eagle. So it might be actually like an original piece. She got it for way less than the $450 standard asking price that I've seen. So, but yeah, very excited about this. very cool. Like I said, like I just happened to see it and sent her a photo, and she asked me to pick it up, so of course I did. But very cool. That convex mirror is like, that's actually how you know that that's how I distinguish whether or not it's an original piece or not, based on that. Now I don't know how accurate that is, but yeah, very cool. If you see it in person, it's even cooler. So that is one thing. The other thing, also for Brittany, that she does not know I got, because it's a surprise, are these. Because if you did not know, she collects globes. They have to be kind of original, kind of unique, because she's got some like not just any kind of globe, like, because she has all kinds of very original sorts of pieces. But I saw these and I thought that they might be right up her alley. So I picked these up. So these, I'll pick them back up again in a second so you can see what they actually are. These, let's take the price tag off of here. Boop. These are bookends. And they're bookends, so they're decent weight, but they're globes. But what's cool about these, in my opinion, is that they're not like your standard globe. So you can see they have like the way it's written is interesting. Like, I don't know. Obviously it's got all the continents and stuff on there, Asia and everything. But then it's got like Mar del Zur and that, I'm assuming that's the Tropic of Capricorn, but it's not written as the Tropic of Capricorn. So just like the graphics are really, I think the graphics are really cool on these too. They're the same because it looks like it's some sort of like layer, like I don't want to say paper because I don't think it's paper, but because it's layered on there, not everything lines up quite exactly evenly. So like, some of the words are a little bit hard to read, but I just thought, and they were very cool. Plus, like, I like this, the way that I don't know, it's not a compass, but you know what I mean? Like that, the way that metal piece sits. So these are a gift that I got her to go with her globe collection, just because I thought they were really cool and they were not expensive at all and just kind of very unique pieces. So I'm very excited about that too, because you know how I feel about surprises and presents. But here's the piece that, like, y'all, you have no idea. So, I was just wondering, I'd already found the federal mirror, I'd found the bookends. There wasn't really a whole lot at this market that I was super interested in, just not, they had some very nice stuff, but just not anything that like I was really looking for. So, but I walked by this booth and I see this rosary, which I guess I could take the price tag off that rosary. Not that it matters. Oh wait, here, we'll do that right now. Hey, let's take that price tag off. Like I said, not that it matters, because as I stole this thing, and I basically told them I stole it when I walked out, which is kind of entertaining. But so I was walking by, and there's like a little booth near the front. So it's a rosary. Duh. I mean, we all know what a rosary looks like. But it was listed as large bead rosary, I believe. Is what large rosary is actually what the description is. But as soon as I saw it, so if Chloe is watching, so you can see these beads, right? They're not glass, they're plastic. But you can see them, and I don't think you can really tell from here that color, but they have almost like a like a yellowy sort of color to them. And it was just laying there. The little cross has, obviously it's a rosary, Jesus, and that kind of like yellow color on it. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, it's uranium. There's uranium in it. There has to be, like, just based off of the color alone. So, because I'm this version of extra, busted out my black light. Sure as shit. Sure as shit. So this, my friends, is a uranium rosary, which I have seen when I first started doing the online auctions and first learned about uranium glass. One of the auctions had a bunch of rosaries, and a couple of them were the uranium rosaries, and those things went for like stupid money. I mean, like $100, $150, like stupid money. I have kind of a thing about rosaries. I don't actually own them. I'm not religious at all, but I just kind of like rosaries for some reason. Obviously they're uranium, so I snagged it because I was like, well, big glows. So picked it up, went up to check out, and I bought pieces before, which I think I've told you, that were not marked as uranium glass because whoever was selling it had no idea that that's what they were. They were just marked green glass, and the last time I did that, I didn't say anything because I was like, whatever, nobody cares. So when I checked out this time, though, they were wrapping it up, and they were like, oh, she always has such pretty stuff in her booth. And I was like, that's uranium, right? And the people checking me out kind of looked at me like, what? And I said, it glows, like uranium glass. You know that glows, don't you? And the one woman's like, oh, yeah, no, well, I know what uranium glass is. And I'm like, yeah, but did you see that it glows? She kind of looked at me like I was crazy, like I was making it up. But the younger girl was like, what? And I'm like, hold on, let me show you. So, of course, I pull up my black light, and I'm like, because she was wrapping it, and I'm like, unwrap it, come here. And so this very sweet young girl unwraps it, and I'm like, watch. And so I'm like, I'll show you. And they're like, oh my God, it glows. And I'm like, yeah, that's uranium. Like uranium rosary, it's not glass, so uranium plastic, I guess. And the older woman checking me out goes, is it marked as uranium? And I said, actually, no, it's not. But I just thought that I'd point that out just because it's like hard to find. And as soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. And she was like, oh, well, I wonder if the woman selling it knows that. And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, even if she did, she probably wouldn't have marked it up. She's like, but it sounds like you got it for a steal. I'm like, I did get it for a steal. Like, if she did or she didn't, I don't know. But yeah, so I now own a uranium rosary, which might be probably like my favorite piece that I own so far, just because, I mean, how fucking cool is that? Yeah, so I'm not sure why I shared that with them. Maybe because I was like, I don't know if she knows or not, but it is. And they're like, oh, well, she always has the coolest stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, I bought stuff from her before, but I can tell you right now, if she knew that it glowed in the dark, yeah, because I got it for super duper cheap, $14. Yeah, $14 I paid for this. If she knew that it glowed in the dark, especially the fact that uranium anything is trending right now, she would have marked the price up on that. So this I am so excited about, and like I just couldn't even, like I almost couldn't contain myself, and I almost had to like send pictures ahead of time, but I figured the pure joy for my video would shine through. So that is my unveiling for the night. I have to pick up some stuff that I ordered through an auction last night. It's mostly like pottery and stuff. It's not anything super cool. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do an unboxing because I can't remember. I remember most of it. Most of it was like local pottery and stuff, which, that's kind of like my jam. But, well, one of them, clearly. But, okay. How fucking cool is that? Have a good night, y'all. Bye. In the meantime, I would like to show you. Remember I said the dogs were like playing with the paper? Okay, let me show you how that turned out for me. Mia, did you just have a mouthful of paper? Thank you, Mia. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Mia is, Mia. Oh, yep. Yep, so that's how not supervising with the paper on the floor turned out for me, huh? Milo. Mia, that's a good girl. Yes, Mia and I have been working on sit because they both like to jump. But yeah, so I'll be cleaning up paper. That's what happens when you don't supervise. So, you know, I'm not winning Parent of the Year, but oh well, I never was anyways. Night.